Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you got 1 hour to get there. You're listening to 910 a.m. Superstation, Metro Detroit only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. It's 313-778-7600. Or as the new intro promo says, we're the hottest station in town. I like that. The hottest station in town. Now, you know good well there are going to be some other stations in town that are going to be upset. Their feelings are going to be hurt. Yeah, well, pick up the phone and see if you can compete with us, because we are the only urban talk radio station in the city of Detroit. On the FM dial, look up and down the dial either way. Up and down AM, up and down FM. We're the only gang in Detroit. 313-778-7600. Two things I want to talk about today. One is the video that all of the media is spending a lot of time. They're obsessed with. There's a video that's playing of some folks that worked for, or actually still work for, the sheriff's department down south, and they were caught being racist on somebody that was in the room with them. Somebody apparently that they thought, you're the kind of person that I can let my guard down around and I can say what I want to say. Yeah, that person decided to record them. In this day and age when every single person you know is walking around with a computer and a recording device in their hands, in their pocket every moment of the day, these folks wound up a little surprised that somebody that they thought that they could trust to keep the secret that they were racist didn't actually keep the secret that they were racist. And that as part of a lawsuit that apparently is already pending, this person decided to record and to show that these people were racist. They're racist. They're saying things like they want to go out in the good old days. You remember back like in the 80s, and the sheriff that we had then, he'd go out and he'd beat these black people. Or you know what? I wish we was in them days and we could just take them out there and hang them up in the tree. Well, I just need to make sure. Let me tell y'all this. When I hear that, and all of these folks that have decided that they're going to line up and they want to protest and say, we want these people fired, we want them hidden, we don't want to see them at all. I always wonder what's going on in the minds of those people. Do you actually think that a lot of the people that you work with, that you see on a daily basis, whether you work with them, go to school with them, people that you interact with, everybody's got some sort of implicit inherent bias, whether they're biased against blacks, whether they're biased against gays, whether they're biased against women. I mean, you know, I should have told y'all this story before about a boss that I had. I heard him at Christmas time sitting up deciding who he was going to give bonuses to. And he decided, like, because at that point in time, I was I was a young single man. And he said, you know, I'm going to explain to you how much money I'm going to give you as a bonus. But you need to know I'm not going to give you as much money as I'm giving those women who have kids, because they, you know, and the women that were single women, he gave more money to at Christmas time because they had kids that they had to take care of and stuff like that. He had a rational basis. Everybody that you know has some, even I have some sort of idea in my head when I meet people. I've got a preconceived notion of who they are and how they're going to act and things like that. And then I try to wait and see if what they actually do is going to measure up to what I already had in my mind that they would do, or if in fact they're a different person. Let me tell y'all something. I don't get upset when racists show me that they're racist. What really, really bothers me is when I thought that somebody understood, if I got to know somebody and I thought that they'd understood the plight of what I've gone through my entire life as a black male. Not just being pulled over and harassed by folks, not just having that fight that you've got to fight in order to get through every single solitary day to be able to achieve something in whatever industry you wind up working in. But you've also got to fight with people in your community. You've got to fight with the people in your family. You've got to fight. And to think that, you know, you trust somebody and you think they're your friend, and then eventually you find out, oh my God, this person has never been my friend. They have always had the wrong idea about who I am. That to me bothers me more And hearing somebody actually say what's on their mind, I like it. Me personally, I like it when I know that they have been upfront and honest with me. When they told me this is how I feel about you, this is how I feel about anybody with your skin color and things like then I'm ready. I'm prepared. They're not hiding it from me. That's me personally. And I realize, as my mom always says, everybody wasn't raised by your mom. Everybody don't think the way you think. Listen, I realize that some of y'all don't agree. So one of the things that I want to talk about is not what should happen to those individual races, because now they're pushing back and saying, well, we were recorded illegally and you shouldn't be allowed to play the illegal tapes and let other people know that we racist. Personally, I don't really care whether the other people find out that they're racist or not. I'm happy to know who, if somebody's racist and they're going to have a specific opinion about me, if they wish that they could go and take me out in the woods and hang me up from a tree, at least I know how to react around those people. At least I know not to trust them. At least I know good and well if they're on the block and my kids are on the block, I need to be right behind them to make sure that nothing's going to happen to my kids so that I know how to protect mine. Understand? I prefer for people to be upfront and honest so that I know who they are. It's the ones that you've got to try and guess and figure out and watch all of the other stuff because they are intentionally deceptive and they've been taught to be deceptive. Those are the ones I worry about. How about you? 313-778-7600. Do you prefer for racists to be upfront and honest about who they are? Or does it somehow bother you? Do you feel like a snowflake? Well, oh my God, I've heard him say all sorts of horrible things, and now I don't want that person around. I want to pretend that they don't even exist. Is that the life you want to live? 313-778-7600. Now, the second thing I saw was this morning. Maybe because I missed the news last night or something. It might have been on last night's news. It might have been on this morning's news. Y'all know that we've got somebody we've got a member of city council who she is, as she bills herself, she's the people's council person. She generally winds up voting for issues that are in favor of the everyday person. She doesn't usually follow along with things just because the mayor wants it or the other council members want it. You saw Councilmember Calloway on the news. She apparently went into a market in downtown Detroit and found out that particular market doesn't take cash. And she walked into a business and expected to be able to pay for the goods that she wanted to purchase with the cash that was in her hand, in her wallet. And I have had this problem. For me, this did not just, I didn't just see this coming this week or in the last month or anything. I've seen it coming for quite some time. Y'all know that I'm not from, I was born and raised in Chicago, but actually I've been raised more because I've been here in Detroit a lot longer than I was in Chicago. But I needed my birth certificate a few years ago. And this probably was about 7 or 8 years ago. So I drove home for the day, decided that I wanted to park in the parking lot across from the building where you have to go in Cook County, Illinois, in order to get a copy of your license, your birth certificate. Went into the parking lot, couldn't actually get out of the parking lot because I didn't have cash. Went to what's their Bureau of Vital Records, where they wind up keeping birth certificates and things like that, in this downtown in the city of Chicago, in their city county building. They don't call it the city county building, but one end of the building is City Hall. The other end of the building is where all of the county offices are. Same building, two different entrances. And I went to the building, went downstairs in the basement, wrote everything out, my name, date of birth, things like that. They went over to the computer, generated a copy of they don't actually give you now the actual full birth certificate. Now there's this certificate of live birth. They're produced with a seal on it. And I went to go pay for the thing and found out they didn't take cash. This was probably 7, 8 years ago. And so I had to leave, go across the street. I actually had cash. Had $100 bill in my nobody. Every bank that I walked to in downtown Chicago, there are banks on every corner. Every bank that I walked to said, yeah, we're not going to break that $100 bill. I had not been, so I was treated like a homeless person. I had cash money, and the smallest thing I had was $100 bill, and I felt like a bum. Nobody would actually listen. I wound up having. I went into a bank branch of a bank where I actually have an account. They needed me because my account's here. I had to show a bunch of ID, at least like three, four pieces of ID. I said, "Do y'all have a big problem with people coming in here with counterfeit money?" And they said, "Yeah, it happens every day. They don't take cash." That city is years ahead of us. Uh, there are, I don't know if you've gone to any of the places downtown for any of the events downtown. Many of the lots now don't take cash. You need to use one of your debit or credit cards in order to even access the lot. And here's the real important thing: some of them you have to show you got to use the card to go in. You've got to use the exact same card to come out. You can't grab the room. I was out at a restaurant out next to whatever it is, 220 Merrill, out in Birmingham, parked in their lot. Used the card to park in their lot. On the way out, decided that I was going to just grab the first card I could and stick it in. You got 20 cars behind you, and the gate won't open because you didn't use the same card going out that you used going in. I am in a position where I've got cards in my wallet. So I'm going to be all right in the society where if you wind up in a place where you only wind up being able to do things with a card, everybody, and I know this, everybody's not like that. Everybody is not in a position where they've always got a card with them that has cash or credit on it that they can use when they walk into a market, when they walk into, and guess what? The majority of the people that are what this phrase is unbanked. I learned that phrase about 15 years ago. The majority of the people that are like that look like you and I. They have the same skin color as you and I. And the truth of the matter is, guess what? When a market that's sitting inside the city of Detroit has decided that they don't want people shopping there who don't have cash on them, why do you think they're doing that? They're telling you these are the customers we want. We realize that a big portion of the people in this city are unbanked. They don't have a credit card. They don't have a debit card. They don't have a regular bank account. We don't want those people. We want the other folks. We want the ones who walk around with Apple Pay on their phone and they're used to using it and things like that. They don't want you if you use cash. How do you feel about that? 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Oh, let's talk to Keisha. Keisha can at least start before we wind up going to break. Good morning, Keisha. How are you?
This is not Keisha. This is Keith.
Keith. Okay. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know if there's both Keith and Keisha on the line, but Keith, brother, long as you're on the line, you hang with me for a minute because we're gonna wind up going to break, but you can at least start. What's on your mind? No, do me a favor, Keith. Because it's 6:14. I don't want you because you're only gonna get like 30 seconds. So Keith, hold on. You are gonna be first soon as we come back on the other side of the break. 313-778-7600. That's okay, Jalen. I want Keith on. We're gonna talk to Keith, but we're gonna do it in 3 minutes from now, as soon as we come back from the break, y'all. It's a very quick break. We'll be right back.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If April is showering your company with open job positions, check out Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hollywood is coming to Detroit. Join the Detroit Association of Black Organizations for the Community Empowerment Speaker Series featuring actor, author, humanitarian Gil Hopper. The event takes place on Wednesday, April 26th at 6 p.m. at the Bridge Center located at 9928 Red River near Livernois. No reservation is needed. Safe and secure parking available. For more information, please visit www.davodetroitinc.com.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning, Keith. How are you this morning, brother?
Doing well, Kerry. How are you?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
Yeah, in response to both of the questions that you posed, first of all, with the races, I'd rather know who you are up front. That way I know how to deal with you or not to deal with you at all. You may be too young to remember the song Smiling Faces from 1970.
Sometimes pretend to be your friend. Brother, I'm 60 years old this year, so I ain't too smart. And it was the undisputed truth. All I know is I heard when I first heard it, I went to the record shop. It was George's Music Room on the west side of Chicago where R. Kelly got his start. And you'd have to go into George's and you'd have to sing the song. And I sang it and told them, it's the Temptations, and found out it wasn't the Temptations.
But you know, the Temptations actually did do that song. It was just released as a single by the Undisputed
Oh,
Truth.
I didn't know that.
That song as well.
See, you learned something new today. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
All right, so yeah, I would rather know up front who you are. The closet racist to me is the one that's the most dangerous, because you may have discussions about things or opinions about things, and it filters through the closet racist, and then they know how to prepare to deal with you, but you don't know how to prepare to deal with them.
Right.
So yeah, let me know who you are up front. As far as the second issue, I think that we're going to find as time goes by, more and more small businesses in particular are going to go towards having cards rather than cash out of fear of being robbed. I mean, here in Detroit in particular, we consistently see Dollar Tree and Family Dollar and all these stores getting robbed. And so I think a lot of stores are trying to avoid the amount of cash that they have available for people to rob them. But you made a very excellent point. Many of the people who look like us in our community don't have bank accounts. They don't have credit cards. Some of them, they use PayPal and all that kind of stuff, but they don't. They prefer to carry cash. So I think that some of us are going to be at a crossroads at some point where we're going to have to open a bank account, even if we only keep $50 in it if we can, in order to patronize some businesses.
I hope y'all heard what he said. That's actually what you got to do. We've got to convince more people in our community that this is the way that the world is going. And you've got to have some sort of an account that's attached to a card. Even if you wind up, only keeping, as Keith just said, only keep $50 or something in that card, in that account. You've got to, because you're going to be in these positions where you're going to need to get in and out of the parking lot. You're going to, if you go to, there are most of the places that are downtown in Foxtown or whatever it's called. That's the thing. While you're inside, if you want to wind up going and buy yourself a drink or chips or something, most of them now won't take your cash. You've got to be able to use a card.
And Kerry, even if I work out at the airport now, and when you go through our parking structure, unless it's an attendant there, you're going to have to use the card to pay for your parking.
Right. So we've got to at least start to tell people. I mean, I don't think that we're at, especially not inside the city of Detroit, we're not at that point where we can all go cashless, but we've got to start. The duty is on us to tell those folks that are in our community, you've got to start getting prepared for it. You're going to have a card of some sort in your wallet, which, by the way, is going to come with a fee. Nothing in life is free. You're going to wind up having to pay an annual fee for that card. And you've got to at least open some sort of an account somewhere where that has a card, because you're going to need to leave something on it, because there will be times when, but let me just tell you this. There's still, because there are some parking lots downtown that only take cash. There are some parking lots downtown that only take a card. You're going to have to, at least for a while, right now, be prepared for both of them. So
yep.
I do have one question, though. Your brother's stuff ain't been popping up in my feed. What's going on?
With my brother?
Yeah. I haven't seen anything from him in a while. And I'm like, okay, he going to make me make a trip down to Arizona, because I ain't seen nothing in the feed. Is everything cool?
Yeah, everything's cool. He's getting up there in age, so he's had some back issues. So he may be depressed because he can't get out there and play golf.
He can't go play golf. Well, call the brother and tell him I said I love him, and we'll be in touch soon. And if I got to make a trip to Arizona, brother, then that's what's going to have to happen.
I'll let him know today, Kerry.
All right, brother. Talk to you later.
Take good care.
All right. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Keisha. Good morning, my wonderful co-host up early this morning.
Good morning, Kerry.
What's on your mind this morning?
So I'm going to answer both questions. I'm going to agree with you and the last caller. I want another racist in front of me, so I know not to deal with you, not to communicate with you. You don't like me anyway.
I don't know if you're going to not get to communicate, but at least you can expect. You know who he is. You know up front, so you know good and well how to get along with him.
I don't want to get along with you.
You don't want to, but Keisha, let me tell you.
Say good morning, goodbye. Listen, it's no different than a person is my same race and ethnicity. It's not positive. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. I don't even want to be fake and act like I want to communicate, or I want to be cool, or I want to have conversation. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you. Okay, but Keisha, let me tell you something. In society, sometimes you've got to deal with. I remember a job that I had back when I was in law school, when I worked for the Attorney General's, the Prosecutor Central Office, where we wrote the book to tell prosecutors how to do stuff. One of the people that I worked with was an out racist. I mean, he's dead now. I mean, God called him home many years ago, sort of in a violent way. I mean, karma manages to catch you up, but he was a clear racist. But, when I talked to the man who was our boss, and I explained, it's like, do you not know you want me to get along? You still have to work with these people. That person's got a job to do. You've got a job to do. You can't say, I'm not going to work. I don't work for nobody. Because I have worked with somebody that was I call her Karen, and guess what I did? She wound up not wanting to communicate with me because everything was just good morning, goodbye, no, okay, yes. I didn't have any conversation. So she started saying to me, she's like, you're very short. Yes. Because I don't have nothing to say to you besides one word answer. So she got to the point where she didn't want to say nothing to me because I didn't want no conversation with her besides straight one word answer.
Well, the thing is, those people are there. You're right. If all you got to do is give them the one word answer, you're going to have to work around them. You're going to have to, and these folks are out there. The problem is right now, you don't know who the ones are that are racist because they're keeping it to themselves.
Once they reveal themselves, my theory is once a person reveals themselves, believe them, they're not going to change. They may adjust. But once you reveal yourself, it's just like negative energy. I'm not going to deal with it, and I don't have to.
Do you honestly think that in this world where we engage with people every day, I mean, I hear you say, well, I don't have a boss. I understand that.
Why am I going to try to be your friend?
Ain't nobody said try to be their friend, Keisha, but you are going to have to interact with them. They are out there.
You know, in my position, if you reveal yourself, is listen, my integrity, my moral compass about myself, I don't have to, and I'm not going to.
I'm so glad that Keisha believes you can live in a world where you're not going to. Keisha, what you're not hearing me say, dear, they are out there. They live up. Let me tell you this.
Out there. But you don't, and I don't have to deal with them, Terry. I don't.
You're dealing with it, Keisha. You're dealing with them every day. You just don't. They have never revealed themselves to you.
Right.
But
once they reveal themselves, I don't have to deal with them.
So would you rather not know who they were? You want to let them?
No. I'd rather you know. I'd rather know who you are. Reveal yourself to me. I'd rather know. Once I know, I don't deal with you. Now, if I don't know, I'm like, hey, Jim, how's your day? But once you show me who you are, I'm not gonna deal with it.
Are you gonna hang on with us the rest of the morning, or you just called in to say that?
I know. I got the second part of the question.
Go ahead.
The second topic was the Caste Society, right?
Right.
I was watching a documentary a couple of years ago, and it was about people who were incarcerated, who were like robbers and carjackers. And this would change my perspective a lot on being casted. They said the easy target is drug dealers and old people. And he said the reason why they're easy targets is because they always carry cash. They don't, and I noticed this, like, as an entrepreneur, most of my clients who purchase from me are older people. They always have cash. When I meet a young person, they want to purchase something, they had Cash App, they had Zelle, they had iPay, they had Apple Pay, they had everything but cash. And that's what made me think, let me start going cashless, because I made myself an easy target. If I carry money on me, it's nothing more than $20. That's all I'm carrying is $20.
Look, that's easy to do, which is to say, I'm only gonna have $20 on me. If somebody bumps into me and manages to get the wallet and get away from me, all that they've got is $20. Got you on that part. Yeah. But
are you getting $20 for me?
That's all you're gonna get is the $20. That's the only cash that I've got. That's all you're gonna get. No matter what happens, you can pull 12 guns. That's all you're gonna get is $20. I got that part. But the thing is, still, everything that you just listed, the Zelle, the Cash App, the PayPal, as Keith said, you do know good and well that there are people out there, many of them in the city of Detroit, folks who are the ones that are sitting in jail, sitting there trying to figure out the next scheme. They already know how to rip off all of the money that you have in each and every one of those apps.
And that's why you have I bank with a secure bank, and if fraud happens, they're going to reimburse me.
I'm going to say there's a difference because the fraud's going to happen at least, but you get at least you're smart enough to know how to get reimbursed for it. All right, I got to go to break. They playing the music. All right, 313-778-7600. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I've had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 9 10 a.m. Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours. The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for Urban Talk Radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Goodpods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town. 910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600, but they must air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listen to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. This morning we're talking about two things. One, are you prepared to live in a society, particularly here in the city of Detroit, where you're going to have a card in your pocket, that either a debit card or a credit card, that allows you to shop in stores that won't take cash, drive in and out of parking lots that won't take cash, interact with other merchants who only will deal with you in terms of being cashless. Do you have Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay? Do you have some sort of a secure way to transfer funds from yourself to the merchant that does not involve you having actual dollars, cash money in your pocket? And you will see again later on today, I'm sure that they're going to keep playing it at least throughout the day. There's a video that was released 2 days ago that someone who was part of a meeting with members of the sheriff's department down south, they listened to and they recorded the racists in the meeting talking about how they wish that they lived in the days when they could just take black people that they don't like out in the woods and go hang them from a tree. And they also, these same people are so mad because a reporter had written a report that they didn't like, and they wanted to go out. They actually talked about taking the reporter out and killing the reporter because they were upset that he did his job. I mean, for me, I prefer to know when somebody's a racist. I want to be able to deal with them accordingly because I need to know who they are. for me, what really bothers me is people that hide who they are and you don't know who they are. I want to know how you feel. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Fidel. Good morning, Fidel.
Boys, them silver foxes is something else, ain't they? Hey, you know what I'm hearing? See, your generation got a way of thinking, and I think me and Keisha around the same, we got a different way of thinking. Our thing of it is we want to stop it before it hit our kids and grandkids. Why get along with them, speak to them, interact with them, do all that? I understand when you're on the job, you don't have no choice. I'm like Keisha, I'm keeping it short, plain and simple. No, yes, that's it. No mingling, no getting together, no lunching, no nothing. Because why would I want to mingle with somebody that's possibly going to kill me or kill my kids if that is great? Also, keep in mind, these same people are judges, lawmakers, police chiefs, businessmen, and they call themselves Christians. Two, the cashless. That's when the discipline is going to come in. I don't go to Ferndale for that very reason. You're not going to force me to pay for parking before I do patronize any business. You're not going to, if they still print the cash, I should be able to use the cash.
Fidel, you got to pay for parking no matter what city you go to before you get out. I mean, you get out the car, you pay to park. You don't get to park and then come back unless you're at the airport, like Keith said. You get billed then based on how long you left the car there. But whether it's Ferndale, whether it's, brother, it's Detroit, I still got to use the app every place that I go in this city. And let me tell you this, was surprised last night, middle of the week, 9:45, the parking people are still out driving up and down the street waiting to catch you parking, and so they can write you a ticket. Brother, where you going that you think you can park for free?
I'm going to say this again. I can get somebody to drop me off. I can get somebody to pick me up. I can Uber. You just can't pay. You just can't play me like that.
You know that in order to Uber or any of those other stuff, they don't take cash. These fools keep trying to rob the Uber driver. The Uber driver don't have any money on them. Those are cashless.
The point that I'm making, they still print the cash, and then y'all talk about the fraud. They still can get me on the fraud tip. I think they moving the cashless because the dollar ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all imaginary, like Monopoly money. I'll tell you what, you come work for me, I'll pay you $8,000 a day. That means nothing, but we'll just put this imaginary stuff on the car and you go and do what you do. That's another game that they play. The American dollar is nothing, and that's coming to light. So this is another way of I can't even use the word on live radio, manipulating the people. Or we just make it out of thin air and just put it on the car. So I'm just giving you a different way of looking at it, brother. And thanks for taking my call. I'm going to keep it smooth and cool this morning.
All right, Fidel. Have a good morning. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Michael. Good morning, Michael. Nope, that's Tim. Hey, Tim, what's going on?
Hey, hello there. This is Michael you talking.
Okay, now it's Michael. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Hey, good morning, man. You know what that police department in Oklahoma where you talking about, you know what? They need to pound the Staples thing song, Respect Yourself, and I'll take you there constantly so they can get the memo. What's your take on that one?
Those people have been that way all their lives. They're not going to change. And here's the thing. I've got family who lives down there. They know who the folks are, who are the racists. The problem is, as Fidel just said, the racists are in positions of authority. They work for the police department, the sheriff's department. They work in the courts. Yeah, you got to deal with them. But if you already know that they're racist, don't vote for them. Don't keep them in positions of power. But I'd still rather know up front who the racist is.
I tell you what, since you're a professional type person, if you, especially when you dealing with the court system, you met people like that
on a regular basis. Yes.
I don't. Well, okay then. So since it got on video and we watch it and everything, and trolls can hide behind anonymous names and everything, I punish them to the full extent of their their rules because
the punishment would be kicking them out of the position of authority. Like they've already kicked them out of the Sheriff's Association. They still have a job, but the Sheriff's Association has said, you know what? We don't want to sit next to them people because they're bad people with positions like that. If they feel that way, we don't want to work with them. Well, guess what? Y'all already knew. If you didn't know that they were racist, at least now that they've told on themselves, now that we know that they're racist, I can do what you want. I just want to keep my eye on them. I want to have them somewhere where I can see them. I know what they're doing. I know who they are. I don't want them to be hidden where they've got other positions of authority where they can wind up affecting whether or not I get a home loan. I don't want them in a position where they can affect the value when they're valuing my home and my property. I don't want them in that position. I want to see them every day. I need to keep my eye on them. I distrust them worse than I do somebody who's out robbing people with a gun, because those races that can hide in those other positions can do a lot more damage than that.
All right, man, let me run this through you right quick, man. You know I like Draymond Green. You know why I like Draymond Green is because
you understand that the brother, and listen, you suspended him for game 3 is not going to change him. You understand he's going to be who he's going to be day after tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. And it's not going to change him, not one bit. And the reason that he remains on the teams where he is because they like his aggressiveness. So you cannot put somebody in the ring, tell them we need you to go out there and fight, and then whisper in his ear, but try not to step on somebody's chest. Come on now. If you pay the man to be a warrior, accept the fact that sometimes he gonna go to war.
Oh man, but he made put fun into the game, man.
Man,
give him something to talk about.
Listen, give him something to talk about, and guarantee that everybody gonna tune in for the one game when he comes back. Please.
That's right.
Saying if he at all is not fouling people, and if he's not being Draymond, nobody's gonna watch. Come on. Now, that's what y'all pay him for, to act aggressive, to get out there and to knock people upside their head. If anybody knows that, is those of us that lived through watching the real bad boys when they played for the Pistons. You know good and well, if you pay them to go out there and to fight and to scrap to get that ball, that's what they're going to do. And you're going to tell them, don't worry about it. They mad at you today, but we still got your back. Go out there and do it again. So maybe a little bit, try not to step on somebody's chest when they're laying on the ground. You can try not to, just out and out kick a butt.
He was holding his leg, man. He was holding him. He's trying to run down the floor, and he just had his.
Man, it was a reflex.
His leg,
it's a reflex. So, all right, we got to roll. Have a good morning. 313-778-7600. Let's go to Tim. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
What's on your mind?
I think we're going to be. Do you own any crypto?
No, deliberately.
None?
No.
All right.
I'm not falling for that.
Well, the government's looking into creating their own crypto. I think we, investigate that, let the people know what's going on, because that's where we're going. The government wants to track every penny you spend. And can you imagine that information, having the power of that information? But that's where it's going.
Tim,
we all know it.
Tim, if you know that, then you ought to also know that they've already, for years, had the ability to track the money that you make and how much you spend. And if you think that, listen, I'm always amazed when somebody says, but I don't do A, B, and C because the government's going to find out. The government has already known long before you even knew anything about it. Stop worrying about it. Stop doing crap that you don't want to wind up having, as the man said, don't say anything you don't want to have read back to you in front of a grand jury. Have a good day. We got to go to break. It's a very quick break. We'll be right back.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new program on Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline.
more Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Have you thought about a ministry program with the 910 AM Superstation? Want to expand your personal ministry or broadcast part of your service? We have prime radio time available now to expand your ministry. Call us and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. Tell the story of your church. Tell the old story on 910 The AM Superstation. Call Henry at 248-357-4566. A modest investment is requested.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, and this morning we've been blessed with my co-host Keisha as well being here. Keisha had something she wanted to say about Draymond and his one-game suspension. Good morning. Go ahead, Keisha.
This is the first time I actually agreed with you. I agree.
Listen, it's going to happen at some point in time. Go ahead.
I actually agree. Look, I'm a Spartan, so he can do no wrong in my eyes. But I will say, I clenched my chest when I seen how he kicked that man in his chest. It was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. I understand that it was hard to watch, but at the same time, what did you expect? Just was it? Were you at all surprised? Were you at all surprised? So why? Why isn't you weren't surprised?
Because all I kept thinking about, remember that football player this past season?
They decided yesterday he's coming back. He's been released. He said he got checked by 3 different doctors who said that he's okay. Right.
He could have seriously hurt that young man kicking him in the chest like that. That was a little aggressive. He could have been. It was a little aggressive. That might have been a little too much for me.
Keisha.
That was a little too much.
Keisha, I realize you got a daughter. Next time out, ask God if you can have a son, because you need to learn that if you teach. Okay, let me just say this. Let me say this as the father of 2 girls and 1 boy. Boys are different than girls. They think a lot different. They act a lot different, and they are a heck of a lot rougher. And I can tell you, I spent more with each daughter, 1, maybe 2 trips to the hospital, to the emergency room. With KJ, probably 14. Boys are different. They are a lot more aggressive. Anybody that wants to tell you that they're not is wrong. And guess what? That's because that's the way we raised them. If you raise them to be aggressive, don't be surprised when they turn out to be aggressive. Now, the thing is, you've got to try and talk to them to tell them in what situations you should probably try to temper it a little bit. And probably if you're a professional and you're being paid millions of dollars, you need to look out for the other professionals who are being paid millions of dollars and understand there are some rules and some boundaries that you should probably not cross. But the truth of the matter is, in the heat of battle, I'm not real sure that everybody is going to have that ability to hold back. And if somebody feels threatened, that's the natural reaction. They're going to wind up, there's a reflex to it. Will they regret it later? Probably. Should you talk to them and say,
I don't think he regret it. Look, I don't think he
I guarantee you he didn't regret it. He still does not regret it now. Making him sit at home for one game or sit on the sideline and watch everybody play when he wants to get up and get in the game, it is going to drive him insane. But at the same time, I don't think he regrets it. And
I think he'll regret it if they lose it, and it's like, oh, I could have blocked that. I could have did this.
He's only going to regret it because they're going to blame him. They're going to look at him like, man, if you was out here fighting for us, we wouldn't have lost this one game. But I honestly don't think that he regrets it. And if you've been watching him, come on, this is not his first season. He's been around for a while. And this is not his first scuffle. This is not the first time that he's been overly aggressive. And he gets paid to be overly aggressive. It's the reason that they keep him around. So if you keep him around to be overly aggressive, you cannot be surprised when every once in a while somebody gets kicked. Now, we either going to have rules, which is we want you to only go up to the line and not cross the line. But if you cross the line, we're kicking you out of the league altogether. But when you keep them around and tell them to be aggressive, you can't really be that upset when they get aggressive. All right, let me see if we can knock out one more caller before we run out of time. Let's talk to PG. Good morning, PG. Is PG still there? If PG's not, go to Jerry. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Jackson. Thank you for taking my call. I know you don't have too much time. Dr. Jackson, not trying to change the subject, regarding the city of Highland Park and the $24 million they owe the water department. My question, Mr. Gary, I wish if you give me the answer. How about a bailout by the state governor, Christian Whitmer, pay the $24 million and save
Jerry?
What?
Jerry, if the governor woke up today and said, we are going to write a check and bail out the city of Highland Park, that would wipe out one bill in the city of Highland Park. That would not take care of the light bill. That would not put Highland Park on a path towards being successful. They've had probably 4 or 5 different city managers since I've been to town. The governor needs to have a real plan for how she needs to help that city. And the problem is we've got 83 counties in the state of Michigan. God knows how many different municipalities, which in each one of those counties, there are 38 different municipalities in Wayne County alone. The very second the governor sets herself up by saying, I'm going to step in and save that one city that's been run by Black people for a long time, they are going to. You think that they rioted in 3 years ago at the Capitol before? They are going to riot like crazy and say, who on earth told you to go down there and save those people? Nah, she might be a good governor, and I'm glad that the Democrats won right now and things like that. But that's never going to happen. You know what they tell you, never say never. She's never going to just write a check for the city of Highland Park. There's not going to be a bailout for the city of Highland Park. Now, can she then bring in enough people to sit there and try and figure out a much better way to do it? Can she even decide to get on the phone and call Mark Hackel and say, you really need to shut up and stop complaining about the city of Highland Park? It's the city of Detroit's water in the first place. You don't own it. You have to pay a fee like other people. And should she make them spread it out among all of the other members of the Great Lakes Water Authority or something? Can she come up with a plan to help the city? Yeah. But an actual bailout where the governor says, don't worry about it, Highland Park, we're going to take care of it, we're going to write the check, it will never happen. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Jackson.
Have
God bless you.
Have a good morning, Jerry. All right, we're out of time. Thank you, Keisha, for getting up early and for hanging out with me this morning. Thank all of y'all that, unfortunately PG dropped off, but all of the rest of y'all that called in and took part. Keisha and I will be back here bright and early, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But for now, next up, State Representative Joel Jones, either he or a member of the foundation, will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9, followed by Attorney Anthony Adams from 9 to 11. As I said, y'all know, it might get to 80 today, but it's at least what we're sure of is it's definitely temperature's going to be in the 70s today. We're going to pay for it again this weekend. So get out, enjoy it while you can. Have a great day. I look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all tomorrow morning. Have a good day.